Joining us now, Meghan McCain, the daughter of the late, great Senator John McCain. This is Mondays with Meghan. Hello, Meghan. How are you?
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. The best hour of the best day of the week.
Save it for you.
And the best fight in the Oval Office. Let's take a listen.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. Yeah, you're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
Meghan, did Zelensky deserve what he got in the Oval Office? Was he rude?
And can I add to this? Trump just paused all military aid to Ukraine seconds ago.
Okay.
God.
Loaded question.
I mean, I thought it was like, I'm a reality TV connoisseur, and I was waiting for someone to throw a martini. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I have actually had took me a few days to really process all of it, just like the behavior in the White House, the behavior of Zelensky too, by the way. I was shocked by him as well.
Right.
And then the, geopolitical implications. It's all very intense and very scary, but I've never seen anything like that in the Oval Office. And I have friends who have covered politics for decades who haven't either. And I think it's anytime you are behaving like that, I think especially in a situation with such high stakes, especially in the Oval Office, I think it's unbecoming, and I think it's reductive.
We're talking to Meghan McCain, and Meghan, I know you're your own woman, but you certainly grew up in a household that I gotta believe. I'll be surprised if not. How's this? That you're a little shocked that not only are we taking the side of the invading country against a democracy, but that side is Russia.
I mean, I'm shocked and I'm also confused. I also, I hate when things that are this serious and at this level, like I personally believe that Putin will not stop with Ukraine. I think his expansion will continue. It going unchecked would continue into Europe and Poland and the Baltic states. And then I think if he succeeds in doing that, China would have no reason not to overtake Taiwan. I think there are very, very serious ramifications for all of this. That doesn't mean that I think we should have boots on the ground in Ukraine. And I understand we're an extremely we're war generation, particularly older millennials like me. Every man in my family has deployed, other than my husband and my immediate family, has deployed and served many, many tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, under the original sin lie of weapons of mass destruction. I get it. I understand all of it. But I fear Putin with this level of power, and I fear Putin with this level of normalcy. I don't understand why, if you're a Republican, you don't like Ukraine, and if you're a Democrat, you don't like Israel. I don't even understand how we've gotten into these tribal lanes when it comes to issues like this, and it's really petrifying for America.
We're joined by Meghan McCain every Monday at 5, Mondays with Meghan. So Zelensky was already disrespected by Trump, called a dictator. He's not a dictator. When Trump welcomed him to the White House, made fun of his attire, it started out bad. That being said, what do you think Zelensky did wrong in the Oval Office?
So I just spoke about this on my show with Rachel Bade from Politico, and there's a lot of reporting that Zelensky was basically given poor advice. Senator Chris Murphy, who was an extremely progressive senator from Connecticut, has openly said he met with Zelensky right before he met with Trump, and that he gave him advice. I would assume advice given from people like that is go for the jugular with Trump and be part of the resistance. If I were advising Zelensky, I would have said, say as little as possible, thank him profusely, tell him the people of Ukraine love him, and say, we're going to build a Trump Tower in Kiev when all of this is done. That's what I would have told him to do. So, you're here for the sake of your country and your countrymen, and you're trying to save lives here.
Suck up like the rest of them do. Yeah. Yes,
just to do it. And again, I don't like it, but I'm just telling you what I would have told him to do. And I'm very, very confused. And quite frankly, I've been disheartened with. I have thought for a long time, look, he's Ukrainian. There is a huge language gap. There's obviously a culture gap. He has no reason to be paying attention to the kind of nuanced things in this country. That's why you have advisors, because he's in the middle of a war. I have thought for a long time he's being ill-advised by, quite frankly, Democrats in America. I don't think Sean Penn and Ben Stiller should have gone anywhere near him in his war zone. I didn't think he should be doing a Vogue photo shoot with Annie Leibovitz, taking like glamour shot photos in the middle of a war zone. I think all of this sends the wrong message, and it also sets the tone of signaling these like culture figures the conservatives and Republicans hate. I did not know that he had gone to Pennsylvania during the election and campaigned with Democrats. I did not know that. That I would have told him, whoever was doing it, to absolutely not do that, because quite frankly, I and anybody who was paying attention was pretty sure Trump was going to win. And that would put you in a position of making your war a partisan issue, and it's not. The interests of Ukraine I still believe are the interests of the United States of America. I am not in any way accepting or going to be in a place where I'm ever going to say that we should go to war in any way. But I also think the idea that we're normalizing Putin and his expansion into Ukraine is psychotic. And I'm very, very disheartened, and I'm very, very sad. I don't know how you guys have been feeling, and I'm sorry talking so long, but
no, it's okay.
I've been really depressed about this for a few days.
Mondays with Meghan McCain on KTAR. What is Trump's obsession with gratitude?
I'm not a psychologist.
Yeah. I don't know.
I can't get in the head of any of that. But you know what? If I were Zelensky, if it were like Megan Zelensky going in there, I would have done it. I would have been like, and in fairness, we've given them an extemporaneous amount of money,
sure,
and that's fine. But it's just, I didn't understand any of it. I would never. I don't know anything about Zelensky, but I was very surprised at how combative he was as well. I would never have called Vice President Vance JD. I do not do that in my professional life. I would not have told him to do that. I think it's disrespectful. And again, some of it, though, I don't know. Like, English isn't his first language, and he's not a great English speaker. Like, he was saying something about, like, my costume, and I think that really got misinterpreted. And, that's what
I didn't
Russians
think he understood the
suits.
cards reference. Like, I some of the colloquialism may not translate into
like
Ukraine.
You don't have the cards in this war.
I'm not playing cards, he said, or something like. He didn't understand the reference.
Yeah, and can I also say, why are we all involved? Like, do this behind closed doors.
Well,
like
I'm
him and the
going to
White House.
assume, and play along with me here. I'm going to assume that conversations like this, let's call them rough, have happened between allies and diplomats for hundreds of years. We just don't televise it.
We do now. Yeah, but we do now.
And it ruins the negotiation.
Uncomfortable. When I first saw it, I was in New York for work, and I was about to go to lunch with some friends, and I was sitting watching it, and I just was like, I got to take a beat because I got to process this. And we were all distracted our entire lunch watching the videos, and I'm like fearful of the future, because I think we're playing very fast and loose with things that are extremely dangerous and could have, everyone's talking about World War III. Zelensky's trying to bring in World War III. Well, I think Putin is trying to bring in World War III a hell of a lot more than Zelensky's doing. He's not the one who started his war. But again, having any explanation or liking of Zelensky is something that makes you apparently a progressive liberal, and I just don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Well, again, the fringes don't deserve our time. Meghan McCain is with us right now.
Yeah.
So, Meghan, also, let's look at that worldview for a second. Can America go it alone? Does America need allies? Because apparently we have at least a percentage of Americans now who think we shouldn't be in NATO, the UN, or anything else, and that we can live inside of our own borders.
I mean, there were a lot of people in World War II who thought that, and obviously came to be, like Lindbergh, like really, bad actors in history. I don't believe that, especially in the era that we're in, and especially because I think, no one's happier today than Putin and Xi and, I don't know, maybe Kim Jong-un. Like, all these people are committed to the destruction of the West and destruction of democracy and freedom. And I don't know how we've lost sight of this so clearly, but I just, like I said, I think we're all playing very fast and loose with things that are incredibly dangerous. Now, I have a lot of criticism of how Biden handled his foreign policy as well. I think his, release from Afghanistan is one of the worst marks in modern American geopolitical history. But I also think this is really dangerous, and I don't think Putin is someone that can be reasoned with. And I think what Zelensky was trying to say, from the way I understood it, was that even if they sign a treaty, they've signed treaties with Putin before. He didn't abide by them. He broke them. He said 25 times. So what's the point of getting a signature from Putin? It's meaningless.
Agreed.
But the thing with Trump is that he does things completely different, maybe opposite than a lot of us think it should be done. But he has gotten Putin to the table. He didn't invite Zelensky to the table, which I don't understand. But when it comes to Trump, it's like these negotiations that will now take place on TV. Is this how he does it? Is this like a tactic? Or when he's going up against Mexico or Canada and with the tariffs, he's just going to play chicken. And that's what we're going to have to deal with. This is how he does it.
I mean, people always argue to me he's crazy like a fox, and he probably is, given that he has become president twice under unfathomable circumstances. And I'm sure there is a long-term plan of some kind that we aren't aware of, and that's fine. For me, I like transparency. I like things explained. I don't understand this, but, maybe tomorrow Putin will be like, actually, I'm leaving Kiev and, everything's fine. I don't know. But all I know is what I saw in the White House, and what I saw in the White House made me upset and uncomfortable.
Appreciate it, Meghan. Thank you very, very much, and appreciate your insight into this as well.
Thank you, guys. Do you feel the same?
Absolutely.
I don't know if I'm like,
No, you're not alone on this. No, I would say I find it disgusting. And I have no problem with the United States and, again, allies or adversaries having frank conversations and whatever. I don't see the value in doing it on television.
I acknowledge kind of what you said about Zelensky. He made missteps. Going into that meeting, he made missteps. And some of the things he did, it looked a little bit rude. But I do think that Donald Trump has a problem with reality, because Zelensky is not a dictator. And Zelensky did not start the war.
Russia invaded Ukraine, full stop, period.
You have to
Facts
know that.
matter.
If
they
you
still
don't,
matter.
If you don't know that, how are you supposed to get peace done if you think that Zelensky really
is the bad guy?
Bad guy.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I don't get.
I don't get it either. Can I say one last thing before I say goodbye to you? If I hear one more person criticize Zelensky's outfit when Elon Musk is in a T-shirt and a hat, and we have John Fetterman in his dirty gym clothes in the White House. I don't want to hear that again. It's ridiculous.
Hear.
And I'm dead serious though. Like, people aren't exactly dressing up to go to the White House these days.
No.
And the idea that like there's a separate thing for him when he's wearing that simply because it's a symbol, which by the way Churchill did the same thing.
Yep.
It's a symbol that he doesn't want to put a suit on until the war ends. I get it. I don't understand that criticism at all. That's another one that I'm like, I just am not on this level of deep state internet conspiracy theories. I'm just not there with you guys.
Interesting.
Here. Meghan, appreciate your time. Look forward to talking to you next Monday.
Yes, hope it's going to be a more chill topic. All
there
right.
you go. Yeah, hold your breath. Hold your breath.
No way. See you, Meghan.
All right.
Bye.
That's Meghan McCain live from the Swamp. Our Mondays with Meghan. We do it every Monday at 5 o'clock. Appreciate her spending a little bit of time with us.
Thanks for watching Outspoken with Bruce and Gaydos. Tap to watch more from KTAR News and click the button in the middle to subscribe.